him on. A couple of the Raiders fans were very intoxicated.
Raiders
they were
fans are crazy
very
too.
mad about being asked to move to one side of the bar because we had the other side for our viewing party. They were going to split it in half, and that was where one of the guys started yelling at PPD, and I had to get up and defend PPD's honor. That was really. I actually thought that guy might hit me. I was really scared.
Raiders fans are out of their mind.
They really are. That was exactly what Grant
what
said.
their nickname is? The nickname for the stadium is the Black Hole.
Ooh.
Like it does not sound like a place you want to go to.
No.
Yeah.
You cannot escape from there.
No, you can't.
But that viewing party was a lot of fun. That was the one that we flew into cosplayers.
Oh, here it is. Elder Titan. They do it.
Yep.
All right. Their Mirana has been stolen away, though.
The ET is so scary.
I love the ET.
I think he's going to be a hotly contested hero for both sides throughout this best of 3.
And you notice they don't give them the IO.
Yeah, they banned out the Bristle too, but they took away the IO. So like there was the Coddle Bristle possibilities for IG.
We've seen Baboka play IO a few times. I think at least once in this qualifier. So
That's really good.
I guess obviously LFY has been the main Bristle team, so we're just not going to worry about that hero.
I like this opener though for Serenity. It blocks the Bane Mirana combo and it gives you really strong laners. You get both of your supports, but doesn't really reveal anything about your draft or what you want to do.
they're like 2 supports that don't have big gaps. Sometimes I see these 2 support openings like, oh, you know, they haven't got much lockdown. This could just be like a good Storm type game or something. Like these 2 supports give you really strong lanes, flexibility. They can both go safe lane. They could both support the off lane. And just a lot of different tools, like Team Fight from ET, single target from Bane, BKB Pierce.
Looks like a great clock pick right now, I would say. Like kind of that classic hero versus Elder Titan, pretty good versus Bane.
Sure.
Just try and give you an option to actually initiate into these fights. If you can disrupt Elder Titan during team fights, it's just so much better.
Well, and that's the one thing that they're missing. They have everything else, but they're not very mobile, and that's maybe where you can try and exploit it with one of those types of heroes. I don't know if there's really anything else and any reason they wouldn't want to take that.
You could take the Naga. That's the other hero I'd look at as being pretty decent. But I like the clock more, and they will clock. Good call,
It's
Mr.
kind of that
TrentPax.
classic matchup thing, you know?
Sniper. I think it's also nice having vision to play around with Mirana. You know, scout with the rocket and then use Moonlight Shadow. Give you some Roach control.
I always worry about giving Mirana away too, just like in general, because there's so many different things that you can set up the arrow for, and I feel like we've seen just arrows is death. It doesn't matter what else is going on in these games.
I wonder what the odds look like for this game, actually. You know, like if you were the bookkeeper for this, because IG looks so bad, and then all of a sudden they play one series and look really good, and you think, well, like who's the actual favorite based on the last 3 days of Dota we've seen?
To be fair, it might have been also like it might have just been that one game too, because we didn't get to follow them a ton. But
that's true.
Yeah, but they also
bad
had to play tiebreakers too.
Yeah, it's a good point. Yeah.
So
yeah, like in theory, Serenity should be higher valued. They're higher seed. They've looked a little more consistent, but
IG have that experience, I would say.
Exactly. Yeah. That's so.
Like these players, the players you kind of feel like you're going to deliver in a clutch, important match.
If you had to pick a team right now to win the series, GoDz,
I would say 51-49 favoring IG.
Wow. Okay, that close.
Those would be my odds.
That close.
yeah,
Okay.
I feel like I might go the other way just because of the early game problems for IG. They clutched out that second game. I'll give it to them, but they shouldn't have.
I'm not really talking about this draft included. Just if you had to predict who's going to win this series coming into these 2 teams based on what we just saw in the semis.
I would favor Serenity. I feel like overall they have looked more impressive based on like the lineups they've had and how the games have gone. Although IG obviously had some pretty incredible matches, it just felt cleaner from Serenity, I guess is the way I would put it.
Yeah,
but
I'm a little inclined to agree.
You really felt like that second game should have gone. We should have been going to a game number 3 that you saw from them.
I mean, if you don't, you're an idiot. Like, there's a 26K lead. Like, this TA's just diving so far.
That's not far off the numbers that you said. Very slight favor for. Wait, no, I have it wrong. I suck at reading those.
Oh,
what were the
their
numbers?
favor? It was like 1.94.
Oh, thank you.
It is.
So they're favoring Serenity ever so slightly. But they're both under 2, so that means it's close to 50-50.
Right.
I think it sort of nerves might play a little bit of a part in this game as well. I wonder how much a team like Serenity is feeling the pressure of this game right now, considering they're still playing from home. They're still playing from their own computers. Like, there's no crowd around them or anything. It might just be like another game of Dota.
Yeah, it kind of feels like that whole idea of just like, I mean, do you really think that they expected to get this far? from the open qualifier first round they
I
were
think
at
every
like
team
a
believes
week
they
ago.
can win, or else
Yeah.
you're never
Yeah.
going to win.
Well, no, that's
so.
true, but I mean, you know, there's a difference. There's expectations for
Yeah,
IG.
the pressure
You know,
isn't
you've got
on
an
them.
org,
Okay,
you're
yes.
doing your thing. These guys are just like, all right, boys, open qualifier time. We've been practicing for this. Let's do it.
Sure, Serenity is always they're never the favorites, and there is something to be said for that mindset.
Well, actually.
Except for right now, but you know, you make it all the way to the winners finals, and you're kind of the underdog. You feel like you have nothing to lose. If you lose, okay, they're a better team. Let's try something different. If you win, wow, these guys won and upset. You know, insert team here.
I would say for a couple of these players, they have already set themselves up for next year very well as well. I think that no matter what happens at TI, no matter what happens in these qualifiers, these guys are going to be picked up by somebody.
I mean, I recognize, is it XingQ over there from, gosh, I don't remember which teams, but I recognize
those
that
Chinese
name
teams,
from
yeah.
way back. He's definitely been around for a while.
And
Yeah.
ZZZ has been
Maybe it was Tongfu or something. I think he was on Tongfu for a
Yeah,
while.
that sounds right. And I think I've seen ZYD before also.
Yeah.
But, Undying now, probably a pretty good choice here. Definitely a lot of fighting for Serenity now that they've picked up a Bloodseeker.
Team fight, team fight, team fight. Let's
Okay.
go.
A little bit of hold your ground situation. Bloodseeker doesn't want to waste time on a tombstone either.
Yeah. I like they didn't give Serenity Void to go with the ET. Just seen that hero work too well in their hands. It's a smart ban.
I think it's just nice seeing a lot of natural synergy between those three on the Radiant side. They've got a lot of setup for Blood Right, you know, a lot of control for Bloodseeker to get in position. And now they're going to grab a Storm. So
that's cool.
lack of lockdown on IG going to be abused again.
This is a hero that's becoming super favored, and they picked this up early. Normally, you think
Yeah.
you've got last pick, you want to 10th pick the Storm, but this is like we value this hero a lot, and we also want to make sure IG don't get it, because IG is a team that would just 4th pick it.
Yeah, that's true.
And we saw XXS just look unstoppable on Storm.
I want to say that we haven't seen much Storm in the group stages of the qualifiers leading up to this either. I feel like it's kind of come out a lot more here in the playoffs than we had seen previously. Maybe that's just because of the teams that we were following.
I wonder if he's been picked as much in other regions as
I think
well.
he's been creeping up in a lot of the regions.
Okay,
but
so
I mean, we're now at what, 3 for 4 on the or 3 for 5 on the day now or something with this.
Yeah.
So
4 out
Or
of 5.
four,
even.
4 out of
yeah,
5,
I think
yeah.
it's 4 Storm
Yeah.
games.
Which is nuts. Like, that's something that we definitely hadn't seen to that extent in the qualifiers.
It's
And
the hero we've seen against it a lot.
old classic.
Yeah.
Not like a hard counter to Storm, but it gives you options.
Definitely feels like it goes both ways. Like DK farms evenly, if not better, and he's able to use that space, so you guarantee DK is going to have a good start, but the Storm pretty much gets the same thing, and it's going to be hard for them to really shut down his jungle. Maybe. It feels like Undying, Mirana, Clockwork are actually a pretty good trio of heroes to try to invade jungle, intercept some of those creeps and stuff, but
The thing that I'm scared about in this game is that right now I don't know who you can really kill with Storm that easily. There's always going to be somebody that can get there pretty quickly to come and help out. There's very mobile heroes in this game. Arrow, you've got Clockwork Hook that's going to be able to interrupt things. Like, I'm a little bit concerned that we're going to run into the same problem the Storm ran into, I think, the third game that we saw it in. Maybe the second one.
the first game was the one where he was having all the troubles, like where they just 5-man and couldn't do anything. It was basically this kind of draft.
It was against IG with the Veno DK Undying, the Bog draft.
yeah.
The difference is they have the ET for the damage amp in this game.
They need a heavy spam here, I think, from Serenity. Like, they banned the Zeus, but they need someone who actually makes, like, Bloodseeker good in lane. Because right now they don't really have anyone that actually spams damage at all. They're going to be, like, full HP on IG all the time.
The ET +1 kind of lane.
That's hard to get out of an offlaner, though. And, like, they banned that core Zeus that they just used.
Well, they've got a lot of time to think about this, 1.5 minutes.
Beastmaster, I'm guessing, is... Yeah, he's
maybe
banned.
go Underlord here.
It's a decent choice.
I wonder if there's any way they put that Bloodseeker in the 3 role. We've seen that from time to time. It hasn't looked very convincing, though.
Is it crazy
That
if they
does
try to...
sound better, though.
What if they pick a Void?
Honestly. It's banned.
Oh, it's banned.
Yeah.
We've been through that.
Yeah, if you
Bummer.
run in the offlane, I feel like you need some safe laner that kind of like fights, has a lot of kill potential, kind
Or
of makes
farms
plays.
really hard.
I guess, yeah.
So
like-
then are you going to, like, run Bloodseeker Bane in the offlane and then, like, Morph ET or something? That's
Bloodseeker,
weird.
Bane, and then a range
Whoa,
carry with ET.
that's really
This
cool.
is, XingQ's
I mean,
playing co-op, so...
It's harassing, that's for sure. It actually does kind of keep people's HP low. the dagger. Ooh. But if you're not
So
mid, you don't really want that
how
much
do they
dagger.
lane this, are we thinking?
I like safe lane Quap.
I'm not sure. That's a good question.
Isn't ZZZ usually the safe laner?
He's normally the
He
carry
was the-
player,
Yeah.
but
so-
Well, he was playing that off-lane
Off-lane
Void.
Void, yeah.
Yeah, so...
It's hard to say, yeah.
they are very flexible.
Yeah, they've
with
been
their
mixing it up on
lanes.
all of their players, because they had the ET player was playing the Zeus, which ended up being, I think, right?
That was
Or-
Zinq was on the Zeus.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I
Actually,
guess-
Could you just maybe try and match the Queen of Pain up against the Mirana? Make sure you always get the daggers on her.
It's possible. I guess, what are we looking at? So,
I think like ET Quap is a pretty scary
Safe
off lane.
lane.
And then you do Bloodseeker Bane safe lane, just let the Storm go mid against DK.
There's going to be maybe some lane swapping. That's another thing to watch out for.
I don't know what the ideal matchup is. You know, like what are they hoping to match this Quap
Gonna need
with?
to go offline. in
I
a
like
second here, too.
IGs. I think IG looks good.
okay.
You're the
I'm
IG?
into that draft
Okay.
very much.
It's very similar to what they did earlier. The DK with Undying. It's kind of 5-man lineup.
I
What do you
think
think,
I
Zyori?
like the Serenity draft. I'm going with the Elder Titan. I'm going to stick to my guns, even though I think this Quap is a weird last pick. I got faith in the boys.
Okay. Well, thank you, gentlemen. We'll see
Okay.
you after game number 1.
Man, I'm super down for this. Storm and Quap in the same game.
Aggressive. Gives him the all chat Quap King. This guy
Wow.
loves his Quap. Zinq. Tips, tips, tips. Who wants a tip?
Did we get a chance to see what level he was?
Can you still check once you're in game? I thought you
Maybe.
could. Maybe not. He's got
Oh
the
my
little-
god, these compendium levels.
Yeah,
2,100. Yeah.
Some high rollers here. Winner of this best of 3 is going to TI, ladies and gentlemen. IG versus Team Serenity.
And for me, at least, looking at this matchup, I think that people would have expected IG, the only directly invited team to the regionals from China. And then you look on the other side, team that came out of nowhere. We've harped on it a billion times, but it's worth repeating. Possibly there have been people who have been making allusions to the old wings. Still feel like it's a little grandiose, but they have definitely proven that they're incredibly talented.
Not quite there yet, perhaps. So this is definitely a good first step to try and follow in Wings' footsteps. It will be that 3-position kind of offlane Bloodseeker, ZZZ on that. Looks like the Elder Titan's going to be in the offlane with him. PYW has been so good on this hero. You've been praising him a lot. You're a big fan of his Elder Titan. I'm looking forward to seeing him play it once more.
Definitely. Feels like it's just such a disruptive hero in the fights. And, well, this laning stage, a little bit of a different look than what we've been seeing previously. Clockwork going to be going here solo for the moment, and I guess they're going to switch
There.
things up. And
That's literally just sitting here waiting for them to scout the lane so that he can go versus the Bloodseeker, I think. He's going to head top. So IG's solution to making sure they get the right lanes is to basically not go to lanes until they see the enemy. Arrow hits bottom. Bane in trouble. This could be a first blood. 1 or 2 more right clicks. Needs to get a brain step off. Does do so, but still going to get the kill. Q's Undying off to a hot start.
this is what you want, absolutely, out of IG. And as you mentioned, they're going to be trying to get this lane working. Still could be a little bit tough. We were talking about the matchup of Queen of Pain versus Mirana, where you can always get that dagger off on her, but still could be tough.
The nice thing is Mirana has this decent attack range where Quap to do so has to walk up fairly close, so Mirana's kind of going to outrange the Queen of Pain, could just always get those right clicks off anytime she walks up for a Shadow Strike, so this is still the lanes that IG were hoping for.
I guess that sort of begs the question if we're going to see any lane swapping at all, or if they're going to feel comfortable just continuing with this. But something to watch for. Mid lane, Storm Spirit facing off against the Dragon Knight. Kind of thought he was looking for the courier there for a moment. But
Nice. Just trying to bully up nice and close. DK getting some great last hits under tower. 10 last hits, 1 deny. Storm even used the glyph to try and make him miss a range creep, but DK wasn't having it. He still hit the range creep. XXS, very sound mechanics so far here in this mid lane.
And it's something that I was sort of surprised when I first heard that he was going to be making that switch, known for being a really competent offlane, known for these different types of heroes there, the Magnus most notably, but he's still showing he's got everything that he could possibly want.
Yeah. I think he was looked at after IG won DAC like, this guy is hot shit, this guy's offlaner, you got to look out for it. But IG kind of fell off for a little while, and it felt like once his Magnus got figured out, he didn't have too many other heroes, but we've seen him kind of excel in this mid lane now, so definitely enjoying watching him there.
Still relatively even so far. We're going to see the Storm Spirit.
Yeah.
Miss a couple here and there, but it's not the complete and total end of the world. 3 denies so far on XSS.
Clock gets a bottle. This could be dangerous. Oh, sorry, gets a haste rune. I'm thinking bottle. Someone's going to queue up bottle. He's going top. They want these kills.
For it, the Stomp is trying to interrupt it, but it's not going to happen. And this Bloodseeker in some trouble. He wanted to go for a couple more of those last hits, but
He's just like, can I get a last hit before I die? No. Not the case. He will buy his boots before he dies, so he doesn't lose too much. But a couple of kills going IG's way early on.
yeah, mid lane. Just going to be a farm fest, continuing to see that. Kind of a different sort of lane again for the Queen of Pain. We don't often see it in the safe lane. We did for a while ago. What's been the change, do you think? Is it just the lane matchup? What's going on here?
I think it's a hero that Xingqiu is comfortable on. Oh, he gets leapt on, forced to blink back, but a strong laning hero. I think this is a game where lanes matter a lot as top lane. Speaking of lanes, the dive coming. SR, if he salves up, gets quite a decent amount of heal, and that's going to save his life.
Oh my goodness, that was so close. If ET could have gotten one more hit earlier, it would have been a kill. But man, IG are just owning it up here top.
ZZZ having a really rough time on this Bloodseeker. Just can't get anything, and this is why at the very start, Batrider was sitting in the mid lane between the tier 1 and the tier 2. He wanted to make sure he is in the lane wherever Bloodseeker is. Bat is a great counter to Bloodseeker in lane. It's very hard to play against him because you normally just sustain against all these heroes, but once you get 3 or 4 napalm stacks on you, you don't sustain against a Fireflying Bat with mass napalm stacks on you. You just die.
Really cool answers. For all you people out there that want to know how to deal with Bloodseeker in your pubs, just pick Batrider and sit in the mid lane. Everything will work out, I'm sure.
Go compete for mid with your mid lane.
Exactly. We got the DD here as well for the Dragon Knight. Bottle was picked up by the Batrider, and actually speaking of Batrider, he's taking a nice little bit of damage here. Serenity will chase him back.
Should be fine.
Oh, look up.
You did not want to trap them inside, but not the end of the world. They'll farm some cogs up.
Absolutely.
And Batrider may be forced back. He got a bottle. 5 minutes coming up, which means bounty runes as well as shrines, but I don't think he wants to wait that long. He wants to heal up so he can be ready to fight for those shrines and bounty runes.
Speaking of which, we are going to have those in just a couple of seconds down bottom here. We saw Mirana have to go all the way back home, and that's going to leave open the Bane to come and contest. And well, if IG's not careful, they might lose all 4 of these here.
Yeah, Bloodseeker's incredibly fast because of how low all these heroes got. Q at bottom lane, Mirana finally back to Fountain, and it will be 4 bounty runes going Team Serenity's way. Not the biggest deal, but it's like about 1,000 gold swing at this stage, the first bounty runes.
And, I mean, looking at the CS outside of just the bounty runes, it's looking pretty solid for the Radiant team. You could say that Storm Spirit, you know, a little bit behind the Dragon Knight, but not really by that large of an amount.
Yeah. Neither team's truly pulled ahead just yet, but we'll see some of these ultis come online now. Curious to see if DK does any rotations or just looks to use his ultimate maybe just to harass down this mid-tier 1 tower a bit.
Stomp going to be canceled there as well as IG taking some damage. They did bring mid the Undying just to drop down a ward, but they're trying to switch up these lanes, give themselves a better time for the Bloodseeker.
Bloodseeker's sick of it. He doesn't want to versus Bat anymore. If he keeps going up there, he's just going to keep on dying, so they send the Quap, who can always blink away should she get spammed by the napalms.
Arrow connecting, but the silence is going to be there as well as they have the Nightmare onto 1, trading hits as well. He gets pushed back by the cogs there, and, well, Bane is never going to live through that. Now with the battery assault as well from Baboka, they need to sit in the creep wave here. Needs to kill some creeps as well to get that extra bit of heal. They dodged the decay, actually, but still going to go down.
Wow, Mirana played that so well. Backed off out of the silence, and the second it wore off, he leapt into the cogs for a double Starstorm hit, getting the attack speed in the process to secure the first kill. Helps his team get the second. Very nicely done by Aggressive. He's kind of recovering. He didn't get the best CS in lane against the Queen of Pain, but those kills will kind of make up for that.
Absolutely. So early on, the Storm Spirit going to head back towards the jungle. He also hit up the shrine on his way. Heading over here to the side, we'll run by where the Batrider is. Not sure what his plan is.
As an observer ward, but with the bottle charges being used, that's not going to be a kill anymore. Storm vacating this mid lane. XXS, it looks like he did pop his ultimate earlier just to do some harass. Towers down to 2/3 HP, which isn't that much damage being taken, so not the end of the world. Is ET going to get found by the Clockwork? Bring around to Rosie.
In the drafting stage, just how difficult it is to play ET against the Clockwork that's constantly by vision on you. And ooh, tries to get the deny. No, it's not going to get to the creep cape in time.
Gotta respect the stick charges. Still with the kill.
0-6 so far.
Yeah, I think it's deceptive 0-6. It's not like a big lead. It's still pretty close. The gold lead is perhaps more indicative of where this game is at, where it's not too much separating the teams in terms of gold. Even experience is only slightly IG favored, so these kills help for sure, but in terms of CS, it's actually been Team Serenity slightly having the better laning stage.
And you look down here bottom, they have a feeling that something is coming, and they spot out the Bane. The Bloodseeker was able to vacate the area before too much damage came through, but Bane's certainly dead, as they didn't even have a TP on Stormscreen to come and rotate. So they'll get this tower, see what they can get on the side of Serenity in turn.
Yeah, it's good rotation because the lane that Serenity can push the fastest is mid because of how close the creep wave's out of the tower, but Batrider's already there to defend, and they're already sitting up top. Clockwork TPs to the tier 2. He wants to make sure the Queen of Pain doesn't get too much damage, so they're going to take a tower while defending towers. I hopefully haven't spoken too soon, as there are heroes nearby, but I don't see this tower being defended down bottom.
So 8.5 minutes in, we're going to take a look at the net worth now. Still sitting at the top right now for the Radiant. We haven't seen a Queen of Pain rotation with that Sonic Wave yet, which she does have up at level 7.
Fairly quiet game for her. Does have a TP scroll, full mana, so it's the big thing is having enough mana pool to actually use your spells when you rotate. You want to conserve mana as much as possible in lane, which XinQ has managed to do a good job of. And first DK rotation is a big success. Like what I'm seeing from XXS, not just popping that ultimate to chip away at mid, just making sure he moves to his teammates and gets a guaranteed tier 1.
The other big thing to watch here is going to be the levels. So far, you take a look at the Radiant, it's the Bloodseeker, who's only level 5, really has been hampered by that early pressure that he faced against the Batrider.
Meanwhile, Clockwork, level 5 as well. He's going to have a very fast level 6. He probably won't even need the tome.
Q with the DD bottled.
Nice kill. Had a killing spree. 259 gold. Decent chunk of change. ZYD's not done. He wants more perhaps, but
that's scary.
For Marana.
And Clockwork almost level 6. Not sure where he might. Maybe he just tries to keep on bullying the Bloodseeker. There might be some diminishing returns there, but other ones are hard to kill.
We're going to see Serenity dominate the runes once again. Storm's staying at this top lane because he really wants this bounty rune, and it looks like he should be able to get both there. PYW is going to take at least one, so it should be a 3-for-1 bounty rune trade. Once again, Serenity getting the edge with the bounty runes, and you can see here they're actually taking a gold lead. They're down 1 kill to 7, but farm-wise they're doing just fine, and the heroes that you want farm on are getting it. It's the Quap and the Storm. Bloodseeker's actually like the least important of these 3 cores to get farm on.
Oh man, that was level 6 Clockwork that he got right after he went in on the Queen of Pain. Maybe if there's one other creep there, he could have found a kill with the Chase and Battery Assault and Marana, but no such luck. They are bringing a lot of heroes top for Serenity right now.
They Nightmare into a silence. I think they may want to just disengage. DK's going to hold his ground. He's got 21 charges.
Yeah, the Rupture in the arrow. It connects as well onto the Queen of Pain. She's going down low, but they will kill off XXS as they look for more. Fiend's Grip on top of them. They lose the Queen of Pain, but they are going to find more in return. And meanwhile, over here to the side, Q drops the Tombstone. This is going to be given over to the Storm. And everything looking okay right here for Serenity as they, even chasing further forward. They should back out, though.
Yeah, the Undying kind of came in a bit too late. Gets the Tombstone down when the fight's already in a bad place, and Serenity just had numbers. We talked about this being a big matchup of 2 teams who want to fight a lot, particularly these big team fights, and that's where the first team to kind of assemble as 5 seems to have an edge, because that was kind of a 5v3, 5v4 fight at the start. Only later did the Batrider and the Undying show up, and by then it was too late. The fight had already been lost.
Absolutely. Yeah, they've got to make sure that they get those numbers there quickly and are able to turn that fight.
And that DK had a lot of health. He was on 2k HP, it felt like, roughly, with 21 charges, and still managed to bring him down with everything thrown on top.
I feel like it's, again, part of it has to go with the ET, picking up that aura and having it early on with all of this magical damage that they've got. Normally you wouldn't see that DK get burnt down, but...
Yep. Oh, absolutely, because Quap didn't use spells. She just died before she could use a Sonic Wave. It was a great hook shot into arrow play.
Oh, no. Have you seen this? The Queen of Pain Blink Dagger? I feel like I saw this in one of the other games of theirs.
Okay.
I feel like I saw this before.
Yeah, I'm going to reserve judgment. Let's see how it works. seen his item on Quap in some pub games here and there, and it's not been disastrous by any means. It's very unconventional, not gonna lie, but it's not awful.
I casted one game of, it was, I don't remember who it was, but it was one of the Peruvian guys that had I think it was Excel or something. He got it in a pro game, and then he proceeded to give away like 20,000 net worth lead.
You're right. I remember the South American players using this build a few times, I want to say, and I guess this is what Zinky wants to go for. He's got Strength Tread, so I feel like he's kind of itemizing to be this like kind of tanky frontliner alongside the Bloodseeker. I wouldn't be surprised to see like a Blink into BKB this game, not prioritizing like the Orchid utility type items. That's more the Storm's job to do damage and carry the game.
Oh, movement in right now. Boba, oh, he hits him on the TP in, but they still managed to find the ET. Can they burst these heroes down? ET, he's going to be able to get a stomp off here to try and interrupt the team fight. He catches it on a 3. The Earth Splitter coming through. The Sonic Wave isn't enough damage, though. They can't bring them down. The Tombstone is already there, and with 2 dead, they buy back on the ET. It looked good for a moment.
Yep. That was the undying factor. The last team fight at top, he wasn't really there at the start. This time around, he's there with a Tombstone, with the heals, making a big difference. The Soul Rip is such a value heal at level 1, and really nicely done. The Rupture was also used on a Batrider, which was kind of not the ideal target. He'd already used his lasso, he was in the back line, so you need to use that more on the hero in the front, these tanky cores that you, like the DK as we saw in the last fight, and end result was a great fight for IG.
Yeah, and you see there as well that it's the early damage that came out from Team Serenity was actually more than came out from Invictus Gaming, but all these heroes just are so big and tanky, really hard to deal with, and need to get more items.
Yeah, the Storm just has Kaya, but looking to build now towards the Bloodstone. See how that works for him. It is fairly greedy, all across the board from Serenity. Got a Bloodstone Storm. I mean, Quap going for some unconventional Blink Dagger build, it seems. Very unusual stuff. Storm being hunted at top. The Moonlight Shadow is there. Are they going to scout him out?
Looking.
Oh, he blows up one Remnant. I don't even know if Storm noticed. He blows up a second. Storm surely should know by now.
Yeah, he knows. Good play right there. He realizes they could be coming in. And
yeah, those Remnants popping should have been a big sign. I think he didn't notice the first one because maybe he thought it expired. You don't normally you expect to get vision of the hero, which was not the case since they were smoked.
Uh-oh. Pull back in now. They found themselves the ET yet again, and
they knew those runes.
Find yourself an arrow, get yourself a kill.
Yep. They were ready for the clash of the bounty runes. Bottom lane, though, Zinky will get 2 for his team, so it'll be 2 apiece. But getting a kill with some runes and likely turning this into a tower. DK's up here with his dragon form. Can activate that and make short work of this top tier 1 tower, it seems.
Storm TP's away. They know that they don't want to be here. A lot of sentry wards placed down all around the map, obviously wanting to catch some wards, but they've missed on both of them. A little unfortunate by Serenity Gaming.
Yeah, the warding meta is always interesting to watch because you're always trying to do those optimal wards where it's that fine balance between not getting dewarded but giving you enough useful vision, because the kind of wards that give you the best vision are often the ones that are most likely to get dewarded, so good vision right now. For the Dire side, they're going to take a tier 1, and they're not done there. They want the tier 2 as well. They've got the Buckler. This is what we saw last time from them with this Undying DK. They just deathball down a lane. You come and fight, you're fighting at the Tombstone.
Tombstone level 4, impossible to defend against at this point if they really try and go in here.
That ward was planted under.
Oh, there it is. So this is the build.
Yeah, it is the build. it is the build Queen of Pain is going, but is it the build? I don't know. I might not be so sure about that.
All right, so you saw what it was right there. For anybody that's wondering, you blink in, you scream of pain, and then you blink out. You take care of the creep wave. Pros and cons. Talk to me.
Let's see. Pros, you don't die. Cons, you don't kill the creep wave. You don't have a more impactful item. Whether that's, you know, a Yule's, BKB, Orchid. But I don't think that's a major con because, again, it's not his job to be the carry in this game. He's kind of playing a utility Queen of Pain. His next item is an Ag Scepter. The Ag Scepter with the Blink Dagger. This is cool. Now the build comes together because now it's like you can blink to split push and you Sonic Wave in this really short cooldown Sonic Wave. This makes a lot more sense. Like now you know, the pieces are kind of coming together for Zyori with his item build.
He's thinking about the long game. He's ready for it. Look at him. He's so mobile. That's unbelievable.
I mean, other pros, he gets it when he has level 1 Blink. He's able to max Shadow Strike. That's actually a big pro. Level 4 Shadow Strike, level 1 Blink because of the Blink Dagger. Normally, you do not want level 1 Blink because 6-second cooldown is amazing. 15, not so great. But when you have 2...
Well, and he's getting it really fast. I mean, if you move around the map this quickly, you're going to farm very rapidly. 40-second cooldown on that one. Now, this Dragon Knight, I don't know if this is going to be a chance for ever getting a kill on this hero, it feels like. So freaking takey.
He is monstrous. 8k net worth, about to finish BKB. Not sure there's much they can really do about him at this point other than ignore him and hope for the best. Batrider and Aggressive have smoked up. Aggressive's Mirana having finished the Maelstrom. This is like a nice little power spike for the Mirana where you suddenly dish out a lot more damage when you go leaping in. And that will make life pretty tricky for any cores that do get caught out by this.
Also for the poor Bane if they happen to run into him.
Of course, you're right.
Although they have their eyes. Yeah, they're just going to take the Spain. Jump back, quick catch, and Aggressive there will be able to find the kill. Again, though, over to the side, they found themselves the ET. He can try and TP out now after the stomp if he wants to. Doesn't have one. Doesn't have enough cold for one either. Oh, that hurts.
Wasn't much of an escape for him as elsewhere Serenity are just pushing out top, pushing out mid with the Queen of Pain. Queen of Pain does need to be a little bit careful as Clockwork is nearby.
Blink. Second blink.
In another pro against Clockwork, you've got a second blink. Because often the problem against Clock is you blink away and he holds his hook shot until you blink away. But if you blink away with your dagger and you get hooked, you still have your spell to use. Can't do the other way around since you will be taking damage.
Now, Q in the area. Sonic waves the creep waves, blinks in.
Farming, it looks like. I don't think he's looking to fight, but we'll see.
Jump in deep.
Direct success as a BKB.
Now he's about to get arrow, needs to jump away from there. They are going to get kills on the Bane yet again. And
can't be fine here, even with the Rupture. I think, yeah, you just hug your Tombstone. All they can do is deny the tower and get the hell out. Oh my gosh, that was unlucky for Baboka. Get the perfect line, just didn't quite get the range. And IG get a tower and get out. 15 kills to 4, 2k gold lead. Not the biggest gold lead, but you can really see what their lineup does. And it is very hard for Team Serenity to stop.
Yes, this is the ultimate try and get down a lane and push it out. If they want to, they can try and go for a, Batrider initiation once you get close to the high ground as well.
Yep.
Could be something pretty solid as they try and close it out. But maybe thinking about Roshan in the near future?
Could do. It's one of those ways to kind of force a team fight. They may want to take a few more of these out of towers first, but we'll wait and see. I think their Blink Dagger timing on DK will be pretty important for them. That's when they have like a second initiator to go along with the bat, and they can really start taking whatever fights they want. Definitely feeling like things have come together well for IG here in game number 1 so far.
So it looks like Queen of Pain has changed up her item build now and is going back for the Dagon level 5.
I'm, not sure about this quad build, but I'm happy to see like different builds tried out on this hero. I feel like this is one of those heroes where there's so many builds available to you because you've got a built-in blink and so much nuke damage. You really can go countless different item builds.
You have a built-in blink, so you can buy another blink. And
yeah,
then the Dagon.
I mean, I guess apparently you can. That's what Zyori's saying. So Dagon, the idea behind this, he wants to burst some of these super tanky heroes. They're just way too hard to kill, particularly the DK. And some of these heroes like Batrider don't have BKB, so he wants to be able to burst the bat, he has dying. These heroes sitting on like 1300. This all in. Let's blow up one hero to start the fight.
And I mean, you talk about pros of this build. This lineup right here from IG have had almost complete map control. They have been able to run around. They've got wards absolutely everywhere. Some of them have been dewarded since then, as this one is just barely going to miss out. But still, you've got Queen of Pain and Storm Spirit that are farming like crazy.
Yep.
Well, the skin hits.
They know what's coming their way. They need to be careful, though. They still may get caught out here. Hookshot has a long initiation as Clockwork.
SRF looking
Finds it
forward.
too late. The hook is off the map. But bigger kills? They don't see the Bloodseeker.
Oh, the Storm! He gets caught with no mana, though, and they are going to find him now. This is a big one. And
oh, Bloodseeker. Do they have a stun? who gets out barely in time. Surprise. I think he had to get to the shop. He didn't have a TP either, so a few heroes getting caught out there. Even with the scan to see the rotation coming, they were just completely trapped. They ran the wrong direction, kind of running to the right instead of just running back to their base, and did limit what they could do.
All of the lanes are pushed out yet again. I mean, if there's ever a lineup in the world that can hold high ground, you got Bloodright, you got ET, you've got Blink Blink, you got everything.
Yeah, and we're going to see this co-op go into some cooldown reduction, spell lifesteal, I can only imagine, and just be zapping people all over the place, screaming at them as well, throwing some nasty poison. It's going to be pretty entertaining to see this co-op, I feel.
Oh, this is a really nice play here. They know immediately where aggressive is going to be, and look at the damage.
Whew. Holy moly, he just melted. It did not last very long for poor aggressive there, as we will start seeing this Radiant swing, if they can start chaining together some kills, because they've only had 4 kills so far, but their lineup is kind of hitting that peak where they've got the damage now to find these picks. They are sure as hell looking for them. Stomp could hit 3 here.
Get forward, it's going to connect only onto 1. He's behind the tower, though, as well. Needs to run away now as this team fight is all kinds of crazy. They are probably going to lose the Bane. She tries to get Force Staff away, but the pullback is also there. Onto the Queen of Pain. She has her blink, but the stun is there. The silence, it's going to be a kill. Onto the Queen of Pain.
That's a nice pickup as they go looking for more, and they should get more. PYW on the ET. They just got a bit too over-aggressive there. Killing the Mirana was not enough to suddenly expose yourself in that top lane. IG's teamfight and tanky frontliners is just still too formidable.
Although they are going to spot the Batrider here. No dust available, and because of that, looks like Batrider will escape the leap forward, the chase, the damage is there.
I don't know if he can TP out.
He's
he can't. Yeah, he's just going to die to the right click, so he doesn't actually... He BKBs and dies. That's doubly bad.
And now they found the Storm Spirit as well. It's all falling apart. It was looking good a second ago, but the bait is there to save a day, and Storm Spirit was able to get away.
Yep. Bit of a messy situation there for Team Serenity. Not quite the outcome they were hoping for. Need to make sure you have some dust on these cores. You can't just expect your supports to carry sentries and dust. Storm or Queen of Pain ideally needs some, maybe even Bloodseeker.
So let's do the math real quick here. We've got 125 initial damage, 300 afterwards, Dagon is 600, and then Sonic Wave is 480 with Scepter, 410 otherwise. It's a lot of damage.
It's a lot of damage onto one target. We're going to see this Queen of Pain looking to burst people down, particularly with the ET. This build starts looking pretty damn good because that's all the magic amp, getting rid of that magic resistance, and that's where heroes like, DK, you've got this BKB, and sure, that's on paper an answer to the Queen of Pain, but you're going to be forced to pop your BKB very early, or just to lose half your health. Like, Queen of Pain can just blink in, scream Dagon the DK with the Spirit on top of DK, and that's close to 1,000 damage. I want to say that might be, like, around that. You just blink in, quickly use those, and then blink right out before you get stunned.
Yeah.
And basically no magic resistance against that. So it's very hard for IG to push because it's this constant poke. When you're getting poked at by a Queen of Pain, and that's the beauty of this build, is you can blink dagger in and then blink away just to poke at them. You don't want to go high ground when you're sitting on half health. And they're just going to keep on getting you down low every time you go for a push that you don't ever really feel like you're positioned to make something happen. You're going to have to see some very fast reactions like an instant blink lasso, an instant DK stun on the Queen of Pain to make it work.
And I'm looking at these heroes. There isn't a pipe being built right now on any of them. Not sure if it's going to be an oversight or something that they want to go back for, but
pipe would be pretty damn good. It never feels like that value when it's single target magic damage. Like against these Skywrath type heroes, getting a pipe, it's like, oh, do you really want it when it's just like, it's not the AoE of like a Zeus. Like Zeus, it always feels nice to have, but here comes Batrider, sees the bounty rune missing. Won't go hunting for it. Got a mech. We'll see what else they want to get here, as BKBs can be pretty problematic as well once they come online for Team Serenity, since they are so magic damage reliant.
Good job from IG so far to recognize the limits of their heroes too, and backing out. I think that you see right there, a lot of other people might have just gone back to farm a camp or something, but
yeah, they saw both mid and top pushed out very deep. They were at the tier 2 tower, which is a pretty telling sign that Team Serenity, if they're not defending 2 out of their 3 lanes, are playing in that 3rd lane and pushing out far onto your side of the map. And that was exactly the case. As we approach the 25-minute mark, it's a big kill lead, but not a sizable gold lead. This is still a very manageable situation for Team Serenity.
And it feels like, again, you just keep on pushing out these lanes whenever you get a chance to. They haven't really been able to make a concerted effort across the river throughout this, it feels like. And well, we'll see if Serenity are going to be able to keep this up, or eventually they're going to be pressed in by IG. I really like that one play where they push out all the lanes and then immediately go mid because they know that somebody's going to be there and they're able to blow up the Mirana.
Yeah, they pushed out both mid and top very far, so they're looking for that kill. They're just going to find a Clockwork, it looks like, which, you know, 5-man smoke for a clock, not amazing, but it is Bloodstones charges. It's also playing for your late game, which to me is where Team Serenity excel. Don't even think it's going to secure them a Roshan. They don't go into the Rosh pit or anything right away. If they wanted to, they want to do that quickly, since they're against a Clockwork who's going to respawn and throw a Rocket Flare. IG, though, now it's their turn to hunt. They go charging forward in the Moonlight Shadow.
And immediately, you see Serenity backing out again. They don't want to get caught by this. And in the top lane, Queen of Pain hiding away. You also see the Storm Spirit here nearby the river. The chase is coming, though. Need to be careful. They move forward, the jump forward, able to catch onto that Bloodseeker. BKB out already, and looks like immediately they're trying to take this fight a little bit further, see if they can take down the Tombstone. I don't think you can fight this, though. They need to escape from here, and looks like they're going to end up losing 2, maybe more if these zombies are chasing them down.
Yeah, great Tombstone on the high ground. Ooh, DK didn't quite get in range for the stun. Dragon Tail will not connect, but you see there the power of IG's draft. When they are together and not getting caught out, they are a formidable force, and that's only about to get even scarier. DK about to get his Heart of Trask. He's about to hit level 20. I feel like this might just be a game for the double HP regen and armor. You're already going to be pretty damn unkillable. Just make yourself that little bit harder to kill so you can be the ultimate frontliner. Their lineup wants to just 5-man down buildings, and that's where you want to be very tanky, but definitely arguments for both. But it will be, yeah, gets the HP regen armor. I like this a little bit better.
Well, and he sees that there's also, like, you know, he wants to be one of the heavy farmers in this game, and he's going to do that by getting the damage talent. This is the other way to, like, make sure that if they're pushing down a tier 3, maybe you can stick around that extra bit longer. And he's going to have the heart regen as well, so all good stuff.
He has a ton of health regen as well as armor. Because of this build, he's seeing on goes 36 armor when he's not next to the tower. He's about to get a huge amount of health regen when he completes the heart.
Feels like IG might have an inkling that something is happening here. Batrider goes up on the high ground, able to find himself the Bane. They miss on the arrow, but it hits instead onto the Bloodseeker. The follow-up stun is there, and now trying to turn this back around. They've already lost one, gonna lose the Bloodseeker as well, and everybody else needs to get the hell out of Dodge. Although,
catch the ET here.
2 is going to go down, and again, IG.
They're just too damn tanky, too unkillable. They're this just immovable object in front of Team Serenity. Serenity's smoking up, hoping to find a pick-off, but they just don't really have the ability to find those quick kills. Storm go for this Bloodstone into Lincoln's build, which is going to take him pretty well into the late game, but it doesn't give him any damage right now. That's where this Queen of Pain Dagon actually feels like, thank goodness she went Dagon situation, because without that, I don't know how they have damage. And Roshan will succumb to IG's great team fight, and we'll see what Team Serenity do now that they're facing off against an Aegis on aggressive's Mirana.
Oh, this Queen of Pain again. Lassoed, caught, in trouble, into the stun, and one downside of going Blink Dagon on Queen of Pain is you die very easily. Yep. Especially when you're on treads. Oh, man. Grip.
Where Storm coming in as well.
It's a big, well, no, it's not a big kill.
I saw F here. I don't even know if they have the kill.
Oh, man. This is a really sad life right now if you're the Team Serenity. Everything is falling apart.
No, it's perfect. You got the bounty rune. That's calculated. Calculated feat. His death is actually probably worth it for that bounty rune, is the honest truth of it. Storm needs to not get caught out here. Completely out of mana.
Well,
elsewhere there's a rupture, but yeah, Storm's just going to be forced to deny himself. Meanwhile, DK's being ruptured, but he does not give a crap about that rupture. It does limit his ability to chase. CT will throw down the splitter just to help cover their tracks, but
This is the weirdest game that I think I've casted in like 2 years. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know what the heck is happening. Like it feels as if IG is just playing the same type of Dota, but Team Serenity are just doing crazy stuff.
Yeah, they're doing some weird things, particularly this Queen of Pain build. I think the play from the Queen of Pain's been pretty normal overall, but definitely the item build is not what you're used to seeing. Now, though, I think they're in full-on Storm Sonic mode just to try and deal with these creep waves. Problem is, there's 2 Siege Wagons. Good news is DK's ulti form wearing off, so it does not look like IG are going to force the issue going for a high ground play. They're going to back off and live to fight another day.
Man, 6-27, 11,000 net worth lead.
Yep. This game is starting to look very good for IG. There is limited options for Serenity. They're actually going to smoke up into the Aegis, right? Yeah, Mirana still has that one for several more minutes, but they just feel like they have to go do something. They can't just sit back and lose full control of the map and watch their opponents take the game.
Well, mid lane, Storm is showing here. We'll see if they're able to catch, as it does look like DK is going to be moving forward. They jump immediately into one. That Storm lassoed and just going to be stunned. Oh, a good nightmare, but it's not going to be good enough. He's still dead, and off to the side. They're just chasing down these heroes. Bloodseeker trying to run away to no avail. This is IG just being dominant in this one, and a hook shot, able to thread the needle through the zombies. They find a 5-man wipe.
That is probably just game right there. They're not going to GG out, of course. This is for a slotted TI. It is just game 1 of a best of 3, but off of that team fight, I think Serenity just lose any chance of getting back in this game. So well played. Batrai's just being positioned so well every single time. Gets the Blink Lasso on the Storm. Bane tried to make the clutch Nightmare save play. He timed it like fine and all, but once he does that, Clockwork has a cogs that pushes Storm, and he still goes down, loses Bloodstone charges, and it is desperation mode time. Clockwork trying to catch the Storm on the ball through. Doesn't succeed in doing so. This game getting very ugly for Serenity, who are going to lose a tier 3 tower. Probably, we'll see if they go for the racks or not. They still have Aegis for a decent duration.
He does manage to hit the creep wave there and then get some of the way out. Think about blinking, but of course broke in there.
Backdoor protection hasn't come back up yet. No.
Stop to follow. They have the rupture there, and the chase forward for more. They lasso and able to catch onto the Bane. A lot of damage coming out here, but not nearly enough. All the healing in the world. XXS living through this as Serenity is going to whimper out of this game, it looks like.
Yeah, backdoor protections come back up, but hey, there's another creep wave. Storm needs to catch it now. It's too late, it looks like. Backdoor protection is gone. Mid-Rax is gone. And Storm didn't even catch those creeps in mid, so they can go bottom now as well for a second lane of Rax. Well, IG come out. Guns blazing here in game number 1.
33 minutes in, and while we all get excited about some crazy builds, some crazy plays, at the end of the day, if you're, well, this far behind, it might not end up working out regardless.
Item builds aside, the bigger issues is kind of coming around from their draft. Like, they have this unconventional Tricore lineup: Quap, Storm, Bloodseeker. They have 3 heroes that all need a decent amount of farm that can be playmakers, but also aren't like amazing guaranteed initiators. Like, it's not like those like Sand Kings or Bats. I mean, speaking of Bat, there we go. Does his thing, Lasso and Arrow. They've been hitting this combo all day long, and they'll get themselves another kill. GG is called.
Well, very well executed game from Invictus Gaming. This is almost a carbon copy of what we saw from them a little bit earlier on. Just pressuring the tempo and constantly pushing forward. I don't know. We gotta see some changes in the next game from Serenity, but I also think that IG have kind of just perfected something that works really well for them.
Yeah, I think giving away this Miranda as a hero, we've seen a lot of these teams play very well. It just lanes anywhere. It always seems to have a good game. It always seems to farm. That was pretty problematic. And also just comfort heroes all around for IG. We see Q getting his Undying again. We see the DK mid. Baboka's Clockwork he's played a lot. Everything for their draft, you know, you see it and it's like, it's well-rounded. It's got, it ticks a lot of these boxes. You know, you've got good initiation, good push, good 5-man, good team fight, enough Roche taking potential. The other team's draft, you're like, does it really do everything? I like their opener, Bane ET, but then their 3 cores was where things started to get like a bit iffy. And then it's kind of summed up. You've got this Blink Dagger, Dagon 5, Queen of Pain, and a Bloodseeker who goes 0-8. Like this was a tough game.
Well, and you talk about the Bloodseeker, like that to me was one of the other big issues. It felt like the draft never even got off the ground. Like we didn't see it at its full potential either. I think because of the issues that they had in the laning stage. So again, like you don't necessarily, I think, as Team Serenity need to change up like the overall play style necessarily, but you could try and like maybe just draft for slightly stronger lanes, or make sure you get the lane matchup that you want at the very least.
There was definitely some synergy and cool concept. If you Blood Rage the Queen of Pain with the ET Spirit, the damage amp is pretty insane, and Queen of Pain could do some like 2k damage after reductions. Well, I mean, there is no reductions because of the ET Spirit, but you have to get to a point where the game's competitive and you're on even footing, like you said. You can't just lose the lanes that badly and then come back because you've got this cool wombo combo type draft.
Yeah,
need more than that.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will be back in just a little bit with our second game. Again, winner of this goes to TI, everybody. It is some hype stuff, and IG looking for a spot in it. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.